Hello, and welcome to our lesson on customer and project team trust-based relationships. This segment will cover embracing accountability. As we move up the pyramid, it becomes increasingly apparent that the steps below, in this case, commitment, managed conflicts, and trust, are vital. The majority of articles and resources addressing accountability in a team directly mentioned each of these concepts. In 2014 Harvard Business Review, an article titled, "The Best Teams Hold Themselves Accountable," the authors highlight how important it is to build an environment in which team members resolve their own conflicts without requiring a leader to intervene. This article states that stronger teams hold themselves internally accountable rather than relying on the leader to police them. But what is team accountability? As an individual, we think about accountability as our readiness to accept responsibility for our actions or decisions, but we should broaden this perspective to include whom we are accountable to. Inside a team, understanding what accountability looks like requires us to consider all angles. Angles of accountability. 1. Accountability to the leader. This is the most natural type of accountability because it's what people most often experience. The leader often has formal reward or coercive influence over the team member. This is the most important type of accountability in top-down team structures. 2. Accountability to oneself, otherwise known as self-motivation. A team member's relationship with oneself is essential. Distractions or difficulties in one's personal life can have a ripple effect on accountability. 3. Accountability to one's peers. This is the most essential form of accountability because instead of feeling accountable to one person, this motivation comes from the entire team. It's essential that each team member feels equally accountable to each other. Inequality can cause difficult problems in the group dynamic. The interdisciplinary team structure is built entirely around peer-to-peer accountability. Healthy team environment. Within a healthy team environment, accountability among peers is the most reliable of the three options. Accountability to oneself and to one's boss has more potential to break down due to the single relationship involved. More relationships mean more accountability. So what practices can a leader introduce to foster peer-to-peer accountability? The easiest and most successful is simply to add a regular review of accomplishments to the natural cycle the team is following. By giving team members a chance to address what has and hasn't been done in a team forum, they are focused on honestly evaluating their level of commitment against that of others. Methods that emphasize peer accountability strongly encourage leaders to create frequent opportunities for this to occur. Many agile processes and employ daily stand-up meetings. Embrace the accountability. Ultimately, it remains the team leader's responsibility to introduce accountability, but the team itself must work to embrace accountability. Even though the leader, who often reports to management or other higher-ups, is assigned accountability, it's up to the entire team to choose to be accountable to each other. Both commitment and accountability require clarity for team members. Commitment requires the clarity of trust, the lowest rung on the pyramid, knowing others well enough to commit to being a team together. Accountability requires clarity of information. What am I accountable for and who I am accountable to? A perfect tool that helps teams figure out who is responsible to whom and for what is the RACI. RACI, Accountability Matrix. Though trust, managed conflict, and commitment are important elements of any project, accountability is where the specific tasks and responsibilities of the project meet the team members. In some cases, it's unclear who is accountable for what. In others, someone is accountable but is unaware of their commitment level. A tool for directly addressing this is an accountability matrix, deemed especially useful for disambiguating complex multitasking, multi-role projects. The RACI plots tasks, responsibilities against roles by assigning one or more of the following acronymic letters. 1. Responsible. This is the person or role who is to complete the task or fulfill the responsibilities. If more than one part has the R, the varying levels of responsibility are often assigned by the person with the A. 2. Accountable. This is the role of the person who is ultimately answerable for proper completion of the task or accountable if a responsibility isn't fulfilled. Each task, action, or responsibility should have exactly one A. 3. Support. A subset of our support roles may be called in when help is needed to complete a task or responsibility. The R role knows who is assigned to help if needed. 4. Consulted. These parties are often specialists or subject matter experts who may be called upon to provide input or expertise when needed. 5. Informed. It is important these parties be kept up to date on the status of the task or responsibility, especially if significant changes to scope or schedule are made. This party should also be informed when the task is completed. A visual example can be seen here. Note that roles are placed along the top row and can include more than one person. Activities or responsibilities are placed in the left column. Look at the grid, think about how each role might be involved in each real estate-related task, and then place the letters RACI as appropriate. In addition to the listed task, create a new one and place the letters as appropriate. Finally, eliminate the property manager role by placing an X over the entire column, and reassign or reprioritize the letters previously included for that role. Because it's such a nebulous concept, accountability is tough to measure. The currency of accountability is results, the very top of the pyramid, which we will discuss in the next video. This is the end of this segment of our lesson. In the next segment, we will discuss accountability and change control. This course is presented to you by South Europe College. Thank you for listening, and see you on our next segment.